I'm concerned as you are. How many personnel, how many people did FEMA send to the border, and what was the duration, since I can't find out from these emails?
The specific instance that you are talking about with our Region 3 Regional Administrator, again, is part of a NIMAT team that's made up of collateral personnel from across our agency, many from headquarters, our Region 3.
Okay, that's great. How many for how long?
They have a handful of people. I don't know exactly how many from that team, but that team is only 12 people, and they
So
went
it wouldn't be more than 12?
It would not be more than 12.
Okay, and you don't know how long or how many instances at this point?
That team was sent to here in DC to work with our partners across the department to help them establish what is now the Southwest Border Coordination Center, and they helped them.
Okay, but while they were here in DC or out the Southwest border, they weren't focused on Region 3, which is Pennsylvania, which is what they were hired to do. It's what they're supposed, that's their daily responsibility, right? And while we're having disasters in that region, they're focused on Washington, DC, and the border particularly. I mean, that's what I see here. I mean,
Again, the only person on that team from Region 3 is the one person who is the lead. This is a team that's
But that's also the person in Region 3 that's the lead for Region 3.
But this team is made up of collateral personnel to come help support a variety of incidents.
I get it, but my point is that this person is not focused on the regions that's having disasters because they're focused on the border. And while we might disagree or agree why the border disaster is happening, I would contend that it's happening because of the policies of this administration. So the people in Pennsylvania that are paying for their region administrator don't get their region administrator because the administration determines that that person is going to be on the Southwest border or in Washington, D.C., dealing with a Southwest border problem caused by this administration. Let me ask you this final question. Who's paying for that? Who's paying for that?
For the Region 3?
For the IMAT team, for the Region 3 coordinator, for the person that's supposed to be in Pennsylvania, that's in Washington, D.C., dealing with the Southwest border. Who's paying for that?
These are part of our appropriated
FEMA
funds.
is paying for that. So FEMA's paying for the border, right? So when you pay your taxes and we say, oh, well, that's all going to the Department of Homeland Security, this portion to secure the border, that's not true. Department of Homeland Security is now requiring FEMA to take some of their disaster relief people and send them somewhere to deal with the border. That's how we're also dealing with it. So it's costing doubly.
So did you notice that when the reporter, right in the beginning of the video, inserts about Speaker McCarthy, she calls him a bully. She goes, bully Speaker McCarthy is doing this just for the sake of political revenge. She calls him bully, a bully. Reporters are supposed to ask questions and are supposed to report on what they hear and not insert their opinions the way this reporter is. And that's the problem these days with the media. They're so focused on inserting their opinion and missing out on really just delivering to the American people what the true facts are. That was really sad to see her say that. Horrendous. When Scott Perry said, when she says, well, the American people don't see what's going on, don't see all the evidence. He goes, because the media is not reporting. He goes to her, you're not reporting on all the evidence that have been found so far. And when he goes to listen, he goes, it's not normal for someone with a congressional and a Senate salary to be able to afford the houses that Biden has. Or how about all the receiving millions of dollars from overseas interests? That's not normal either. And then when he was like gloating and saying how, I got the prosecutor fired because that was the prosecutor who had an investigation on his son Hunter. I mean, come on, media. That's not evidence. You're just clearly not wanting to see it. And so what if Biden and Hunter, if Biden's going to be impeached or is starting to be impeached? If this was reverse Trump and his son, I mean, come on. They would have already started the impeachment process a long time ago, and we know it.